Hi guys, welcome to Java Smart. My name is Jaypratap Singh. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to resolve constructor injection ambiguity. So let's get started. So I'm creating a class. I will name it as Constructor Ambiguity. And inside this class, I will write two constructors. Which will take two parameters, string name and int age, and I will write one more constructor which will take string address. These are the parameters this construct will take. Let me write print an SOP for this. And inside this I will print these values. So name I will print name and age I will print age. And inside this constructor I will print name and address. So these are my constructors. So now I will pass these constructor values from my configuration file. I need to write these fields here. String name address and int type age. Okay, so now I will inject using constructor dependency injection. I need to write a bean type. Bean ID will be, I will give I will take initial, so CA will be my ID and class will be class name. Okay, now I will write constructor argument for this. And inside that I will write values. So value, what I'll do, I will pass value to this constructor, first constructor. So I will pass name and age. So name I will pass okay, so first I will pass name Ram and second constructor parameter I will pass as age. So age I will pass 24. And now I will test this bean by using C. I will put bean ID here and then I will cast it to the bean type and I will name it as CA bean. CA test. Okay, so now I will try to test this this uh, this bean. Okay, and we'll see like whether it will use RAM or 24, whether it will use first constructor or second constructor. Since I'm passing name value for name field and age field as RAM and 24, so I expect it to print it to use this constructor and print the value as name, RAM and age as 24. But let's see what happens if we run this program. Okay, there's some error. Constructor ambiguity for CA and class path. Exception, class not found, constructor ambiguity and class not found. What happened? Oh, I forgot to mention the package name. I have to mention package name as well. Okay, now we will run and let's see the output. So see, the output is name as RAM but address is 24. I expected it to print this thing, it to use constructor argument, this constructor I wanted to use, but what Spring used is this one. Spring called this constructor instead of calling this constructor. So why it called this constructor? I have passed RAM, that is a string, and 24, that is an int I have passed. So it should have it should have called this string parameter, this constructor with this parameter and int parameter, but it called this constructor. Why? It's because by default Spring treat all the parameter as string. So it calls string parameter, whatever value you are passing here in your XML file, configuration file, so all the value will be treated by default as string unless you are mentioning whether it's a int type or a float type or any other data type. If you are not mentioning, by default it will be treated as a string. So string, the constructor which has a two parameter as a string, that will be called. So that's why this constructor was called. But what if I want to call this constructor instead of calling string constructor? So for that I will have to do some changes in my configuration file. So what changes I have to do? Let me show you. So the change what I will do, I will use type and I will mention the type here. So I will mention java.lang.string. Since it's a string type, so I will mention string here, and in the second constructor argument I will mention type as int. So now what will happen, this value will go to the int parameter. Whenever it will call a constructor, it will check the constructor which has one parameter as int, so there this value will go. So now RAM will go to a name field and 24 will go to age field, because that's a int field. This is not int field, this is string kind of parameter, so this constructor will not be called in this case. So now let's try to run this and let's check whether now it will print expected output or not. See, now it is printing as expected, name field as RAM and age as 24. So for this, like for calling a particular constructor, you need to mention the type of that parameter, that argument. So that way we can handle this ambiguity. And one more thing, if I have if I do one more change in this,